Hi guys, and welcome back to another how to dribble like video, and in this episode we're going to look at 5 moves often used by Paul Pogba. So Pogba plays in the middle of the park, so a lot of these moves are going to be really helpful for you players who are in those tight situations where you're surrounded by several players. So let's move straight into the first move here. It's a very simple one, as all of these will be, and all we're doing, foot on top of the ball using the studs, getting a good grip of the ball, and we're just dragging it. And then the final step of this move is after we roll it, then we're doing a more abrupt, sharper inside cut with the inside of our opposite foot. So this is to show the defender, this is the bait, and then that sharp abrupt tap is where we accelerate out. So moving into the second move here, and it's a more advanced version of the move that we just did. So I'd recommend mastering the first move before moving into this one. So it's a very similar format, we're just adding it a little bit more disguise this time. So step 1, again, is rolling the ball with the sole of our foot across our body. And step 2, we're actually going to perform a small Cruyff turn-like movement. Then as soon as we flick it, we land with our knees slightly bent so we can explode nice and quickly off into the space. The next move we often see Pogba doing in the middle of the park is the roulette, and this is a good one for you central midfielders because you're usually in those tight space areas, and often the ball spills out and you're in those 50-50 situations where you're coming towards the ball and also another opponent. So if you can reach for the ball just before your opponent and perform a 360 spin, you're going to leave that defender behind nice and easily. So step 1 again is putting our foot on top of the ball. This time we're dragging it away from the defender. So the defender's incoming straight on, we're dragging the ball away, and then we're putting our body in between the ball and the defender to protect that ball. Step 2 is then start to drag that ball back in the same direction, but this time behind that standing leg, and then you continue off into the space. Now moving on into the next move, and I'd probably call this one Pogba's signature move because he performs this a lot during a game. So this one, what he's doing is he's driving towards the goal, so he's got defenders chasing after him, usually alongside him. So that defender's coming in, so what Pogba does, he steps on top of the ball with his left foot, then steps in front of the ball. While that ball's stopped, that defender continues his run because his momentum's going with him, and then Pogba hooks that ball behind his standing leg. So step 1 is stopping the ball with our left foot or our right foot, depending on what side you want to do it on. Step 2 is then stepping in front of that ball, creating a gap between your heel and the ball, enough room so that you can hook that ball behind that standing leg. And then the final step is simply hooking that ball diagonally into the space and then continuing your run. Something else that Pogba's really good at is using his body to bait the defender. So he's able to use a variety of body feints without even touching the ball to unbalance his defenders. And this is an example of one that he uses quite often. So let's break it down step by step. So we have the ball, and then we're just stepping over that ball. We're going to really overemphasize it though. So we drop our shoulder and we aggressively step over that ball. We want to make the defender thinking we're taking a heavy touch down the line. The second step is the second body feint, and this time we're not stepping over the ball. All we're doing is stepping across that ball, keeping the ball close to us at all times, so if the defender starts to read it, we can still have control of the ball. But we're stepping across that ball, bending the knee, dropping the shoulder, really making that defender thinking we're going to go back in this direction. And then the final step is pushing off that leg that we just feinted with, and then we're taking the ball with us with the final touch. And this is where we accelerate. So there we have it, guys, 5 moves that Paul Pogba uses to escape defenders, and they're all very simple ones, and for very good reason, because when you're playing in central positions, you really don't want to be giving away possession. So you just want to use simple moves that unbalance defenders. You don't want to do anything fancy that's high risk of losing the ball. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know by smashing that like button, hit the subscribe button for weekly training videos, and I will see you guys in my next video.